A typical day in Thailand is always extraordinary. Bustling and dynamic, its skyline reaches eagerly to the future. Even then, it is also a land of serenity and contemplation, where ancient and modern coexist in harmony. Join us then in exploring Thailand for the boundless treasure it offers the senses and the spirit. Sawadika, welcome to the land of smiles. Bangkok is the capital of Thailand. Krung Thep, meaning City of Angels, is its ancient name. It was ground zero of the Asian financial meltdown of '97 that crippled Thailand and all the other tiger economies. But after 6 years of painful reform and restructuring, Thailand has recovered. It is back on track to a great future, right at the cutting edge of Asia's economic renaissance, a tiger reborn. Thai heritage permeates throughout the metropolis. Even in the heart of the concrete forest, there are lush parks and spiritual oases, where even a moment's rest provides generous refreshment for body and soul. There are also quaint warrens and alleyways that whisper gentle invitations to explore within. It's all around you here in Thailand. Bangkok was made capital of Thailand in 1782 by King Rama I of the present ruling dynasty, the Chakri. This happened at a time of rising tensions with Burma. Built on the east bank of the Chao Phraya, the river was meant to serve as a defensive barrier against invasion. Today, serving a more benign purpose, the Chao Phraya is the artery through which goods and commerce flow to and from Bangkok. It also feeds the klongs, or waterways, that have earned the place the title Venice of the East. The klongs are as alive and teeming with life today as they were centuries ago. Here, people travel, trade, and live. Its banks lined with all manner of architecture. A liquid highway for commuting lord and commoner alike, the klongs are a great source of wonder and delight for visitors as well. The Thai nation is predominantly Buddhist. Everywhere there are temples, spirit houses, Buddhist statuary, and saffron-robed monks, constant reminders of the serene and gentle faith to which 95% of Thais belong. Despite having no formal power, the Thai king has safeguarded the welfare of his subjects and even averted national crisis. King Bhumibol Adulyadej, the world's longest reigning monarch, ascended the throne in 1946. Beloved by all the Thais, his birthday is a public holiday and a cause for great joy and celebration throughout the realm. By nightfall, sunlight gives way to a spectacular light show as we cruise down the Chao Phraya. Like a million fireflies, little lights and neons illuminate the skyline. Roof lines and silhouettes of stately buildings like the Grand Palace and Wat Arun suddenly take on a festive air. Even the lights from houses that line the waterway become a spectacular backdrop as we make our way through the river. And a sumptuous Thai buffet. This arch marks the entrance to Chinatown. While sharing many traits in common with enclaves elsewhere, this Chinatown is distinctly Thai. The connection to China is an ancient one, marked by commerce and waves of migration. Many ethnic Chinese Thais trace their lineage to the Teochew people of southern China. Hardworking and enterprising, the Teochew are well known for their flavorful light cuisine. The Teochew influence on Thai cooking makes itself known by way of light, flavorful sauces. Bangkok Chinatown is all about shopping, of a different sort. Here, gold and gold articles can be bought almost everywhere. Restaurants, tea shops, and food stalls also abound, offering everything from lavish meals to savory nibbles. Thai Chinese or Chinese Thai, no matter what it's called, the food here will make your palate very happy. On our return, we will visit the ancient capital Ayutthaya and learn more about Thai culture and Thai living. These are the ruins of Ayutthaya. During the 4th centuries after the Sukhothai era, it was the nation's capital, a defining period in Thai history. Here we have a contingent of 500 students on a walk through ancient Thai history, otherwise known as a field trip. Here they learn about ancient heroes and their exploits, and the way their ancestors lived, about their roots, about themselves. And ruins though they may be, these remnants still manage to convey a sense of splendor and glory. Sadly, Ayutthaya was destroyed by Burmese invaders. This is the Wat Prasi Sanpet, the most important temple within the royal temple complex. A 16-meter tall statue of the Buddha covered in gold, cast by King Ramatipodi I, once stood here. It's gone forever, because right after the city fell, the victorious Burmese melted the statue for its gold. Like many great ancient cities, it sat at the confluence of major rivers, the Chao Phraya, Pasak, and Lopburi. A monastery and a convent stand opposite to each other. Here life moves to an ancient, unbroken rhythm, a place of learning and enlightenment. Here novices are taught millennia-old mantras and scriptures by monks and nuns, who will in turn bequeath their learning to the next one. Chants and prayers of praise and supplication to the Lord Buddha are offered, uninterrupted. From the ancient, we head back to the modern, and so here we are back in the heart of the city. But even here in the megalopolis, ages-old designs and structures remain. Below the soaring concrete and glass, one can still find examples of traditional Thai architecture. Though increasingly rare, traditional wooden houses can still be found. These national treasures made with precious teakwood typically stand on stilts and are put together with joinery, that is to say, without using a single nail. Everything about a traditional Thai house is intuitively well composed and constructed. The building style always reflects the demands of the environment, with great emphasis on cross-ventilation and protection from the elements. Each part or region of Thailand has its unique place in culture and local economy. Central Thailand is arguably the country's market garden. Paddy fields and vegetable plots carpet the landscape. These provide abundant rice and fresh produce of every sort. In fact, Thailand is now a major food supplier to the world by way of export of its rice, tropical fruit, and specialty foods. The south has a well-developed fishing industry and boasts of excellent batik. The north is well known for its mild upland climate and intricate wood carvings. This commissioned work, for example, requires 2 sculptors. It's been a work in progress for 8 months. Hopefully, it will be done in a month. Wood carving here is serious business. This example is worth 16,000 US dollars. The Rose Garden Cultural Show is a great occasion for a headlong plunge into Thai culture. Traditional dance, sports, and pastimes, all manner of local pageantry can be witnessed at this great gathering, not just horticulture. And speaking of sport, the main event, so to speak, at this floral festival is none other than Thai boxing. Thai boxing, or Muay Thai, has been around for nearly 600 years, much older than the sport for which the Marquess of Queensberry wrote rules. In both cases, fighters use their fists, but the similarity ends there. In addition to fists, Muay Thai boxers can use elbows, knees, and feet. A Muay Thai bout has to be seen to be believed. Ages-old ceremonies mark the beginning and ending of each fight. Boxers have at each other with all of their extremities for several rounds. When it's all over, winner and loser embrace in true gentleman warrior fashion. There are other diversions at the flower show. Local troops show off their grace and charm with their interpretations of various dances. The fingernail dance from the north, the bamboo dance and kala dance from the south. And the exuberant Yowe dance of the Central Plain. Traditional rituals such as weddings add further color, all to the accompaniment of traditional Thai music. And finally, the day would not be complete without a command performance by elephant and mahout. Here, Thailand's beloved creature takes the floor to show off their skills in forest work and even sports. Coming up, more about elephants, then on to Backpackers Haven, Khao San. The elephant is central to Thai symbology. The elephant represents nobility, strength, and all that is good about Thailand. As in the Punic Wars, elephants played a decisive role in Thai military history. Like Hannibal, King Naresuan of Ayutthaya rode an elephant into battle against Burmese invaders, whom he defeated. Elephants have a practical side as well. Very strong, hard-working, obedient, and even-tempered, they mainly serve as working animals in the timber industry. Khao San is a tourist community unto itself, a heady mix of Thai and pan-European cultures. What used to be a place for buying Buddhist monks' accessories is now a spicy tossed salad of bars, boutiques, coffee shops, internet cafes, massage parlors, and travel agencies. This is Patpong. It's an achingly typical hawker street by day, but by nightfall it leaps at you. No visit to Bangkok could ever be considered complete without a trip to this once infamous red-lit spot on the map. Today, Patpong has gained mainstream tourist acceptance. Nowadays, Patpong is the busiest night market in Bangkok. And if you look hard enough, it still offers some of the stuff that made it a notorious legend. The shopping alone, one could argue, makes a visit to Thailand worthwhile. Bangkok has more than enough malls and shops to rival those in Fifth Avenue and Rodeo Drive. But for the discriminating visitor in search of more than cookie-cutter opulence, there's nothing like Bangkok's markets. This is Chatuchak, the mother of all weekend markets. It's big, it's in your face, and all there. 15,000 shops on 35 acres selling everything from clothing and accessories to fine antiques, garden supplies, plants, flowers, and exotic pets, enough to fill an encyclopedia. If you need to get into the heart of Thai culture and life, this is it. Modernity and tradition. East and West living side by side in perfect harmony. A land of people who exude inner warmth and grace like no other, where all are welcome to enjoy everything good that the land and people have to offer. Here in Thailand, every day is a celebration of life itself. Sawadee ka.